So this morning we're going to be working on this 520D. Now this is the E series model, so it's obviously a few years old. Now what the client's done is he loves the car, he said he loves everything about it, but it's clearly really tatty. It needs a lot of work, the stains in the paint, the wheels are shot. It's just not in amazing condition. So we're going to show you a quick walk around of the car now, and we're going to show you what we can do with this in just a short 2 days. Now what I'm currently working with on this 5 Series is something you can't buy off the shelf, and that's for one reason. With my theory about how long this car has been stood, and also kind of the contamination that is actually on the car itself and how bad the paint actually is, I generally believe we're going to have a lot of toxins on this paint, and that's going to cause some real problems when I come to buff it. Now what I mean by that really is when I actually buff this car, I think a lot of the paint transfer is going to come off on the pad, very similar to what you'd be like with 2-pack paint from many years ago. So it just means the paint's eating away at itself in a nutshell, and it's going to knacker itself when I'm actually buffing it. So what I am doing is I'm actually using a Decontamination acid shampoo. You can't buy this off the shelf, and you wouldn't want to buy this off the shelf, but my theory were right. And if you see that wash mitt, that was cream or white. And I'll try and, to be fair, there's not even a clean part on this, but you can see that this is just knackered. It's absolutely knackered, but if you see, if I fold it apart, you can see cleaner parts on it. So I'm glad I've done this with an acidic shampoo, because what it now means is when we actually do buff this car, I shouldn't really get any major transfer off the actual paintwork itself onto the pad, allowing me to give it a better machine polish. Because what happens when that transfer goes onto the pad itself, it's going to stop the pad and the machine polisher from working, and it's probably going to block up, clog up, and it'll also put marks in the actual paint because of that. So we're just going to finish washing this, give it a dry. I've got a feeling this car is going to be grey, patchy, and look severely beyond repair once it's dry. And then once we've done that, we're going to show you how we can actually machine polish this up. So as you can see, the paint's knackered on this car. I'm kind of concerned that it may not even actually come up. I think this is possibly the worst I've seen a car in a very long time now. Without using the proper decontamination shampoo that we use, this could have been a real problem to try and get the paint back up. And now it's just a case of basically seeing how the first cut actually comes out, and I'm already still seeing the paint coming off on the pad, which is really concerning. So what we're going to have to do, we're going to spend a little bit of time just doing a test panel, seeing how it comes out, and then realistically I think we're going to have to put a temporary coating on this car, or speak with the client about putting a further coating on the car, because I believe even if we can get this looking right, it's going to start to come back using the wrong products, or just the acid from the rain, or general wear and tear. So anyway, let's just do a cut and see how it actually comes out. So what we basically found with this paint, the sides are actually much better, but that's because the top and the roof obviously has had all the oxidization, and the sun has actually killed this paintwork off. This is a lot nicer, but it's still bad. But what we've basically found with this is I can't even buff the compound off, and then if I put a wet rag or like spray water onto the actual panels, it goes dull straight away, which is obviously an issue, because that means as soon as I give the client this car back, if it rains or when he washes it, he's going to lose all the colour and all the work we've done. So what we're having to do right now, I've not got the bottle with me, but what we're going to have to do, or what we are doing, is I am using In Depth, which is one of our filling agents and a bit of a darkening agent as well as a sealant. And the only way I can remove the compound on this at the moment is by basically putting on In Depth wet and then removing it wet. and I'm having to do really small sections. It's a lot of work, and I am having to really struggle and fight to be able to do it, but what we're actually doing is not just improving the paint, we're actually sealing the paint at the same time, so there is a benefit to doing it, but I'm still going to be concerned that this isn't going to last very well if it's not washed correctly. So what I'm actually going to do, for no cost or no charge to the client, I'm going to put a temporary sealant over the top, and then I'm going to explain to them ways to wash it and how to maintain that sealant. And the truth is, I think unless this car is maintained regular or the ceramic is topped up quite often, this could fade quite easily. So I'm going to do everything we can to protect it now for when it leaves, and then I'm going to give the client sort of a run through and some guides on how to basically maintain it themselves, so they can try and prolong the paint finish that it is now for as long as they possibly can. Now, truthfully, the finish on this isn't what you guys generally see on our videos that we upload, because you're normally looking at supercars or very high-end cars with a lot of money on them that are actually coming in for PPF, which is obviously an expense in itself. But I think the truth is, the reality of the difference in paint on this is more dramatic than probably any of the jobs we've done this year. Because if you remember what this looked like yesterday, which you'll see obviously at the beginning of the video if you play it back, to the finish that we've got now, this is a massive transformation. Now, like I said, there is things we need to speak to the client about. I have to try and explain to them best ways to keep it maintained and obviously wash the vehicle, because we don't want this to fade by being washed incorrectly or the paint just having an issue where it's going to fade anyway. So we are going to go through that with the client, but I'm going to give you a quick walk around video now of the actual car in the collection bay, and you can actually tell me, is this one of the bigger transformations that we've done, and done in a space of a couple of days?